Hello, welcome back. We're going to be taking a look at a diorama piece today that I built. We're going to be looking at kind of how you could go about doing this sort of thing yourself or recreate the project, kind of, you know, exactly what I've done here, or kind of go further, or, you know, whatever you want to do. We're going to talk about what you're going to need materials wise, kind of process, you know, the thought process behind it, kind of where the ideas come from, some of the reference material, stuff like that. And then we're going to kind of jump into you know, how the ins and outs work and how you can use this. You know, the beauty with toy photography is you can customize so much, you can change so much, you can, you know, take a picture, go into the editing software, you know, do some stuff there, do some tweaks. You can come back to the figure, tweak the figure, custom the figure, you know, go back in, take more pictures. You could build a diorama, you know, take some pictures, feel like you want more detail, go and, you know, adjust the diorama, be more creative, add things to it, and then come back in, take more pictures with it. You know, that's the beauty, is that you can make something and then it's only done until you know, say it is. It's only done, and you know it's only like that until you decide that you don't want to or do want to add to it, take away, that sort of stuff. So we're going to jump into it. I hope you enjoy this video and I hope it's informative. Do leave a like and subscribe if you're new here. Throw a comment down below if you have any questions. I'll try and answer and engage with you as best I can, but let's jump into it. Okay, so first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that this is two pieces. Okay, it's very simple. And again, you don't have to do it the way I've done it. This is just kind of a suggestion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hand up under here. I'm going to take out the blast door portion just so that I can show you up close. Okay, so what I've got here is, it is made of foam board, just, you know, cheap, easy to get foam board. You can pick this up almost anywhere from a craft place, or, you know, even supermarkets, things like that. But online, if all else fails, you know, you're going to find this stuff easily. Just type in, you know, foam board, or if you are able to use EVA foam, and that sort of stuff, that will work too. It's just more the fact of this stuff is, it's great to use when you're doing just straight edges, and you know, you don't have to worry about kind of the texture or anything like that. This is good for kind of like the structure of a build. EVA foam is great too. I just find with this, because it's flat, and it will stay flat under its own weight, it's really useful. So what we've got here is the Endor bunker blast doors, protecting the ray shield that's on the Forest Moon. You know, Han Solo and the guys go down there and try and take over the bunker and release the shield generator from working, so that their ships can get through. So the kind of inspiration for this came with me watching some videos and watching Star Wars and thinking that would be a great diorama piece, because, you know, like Forest Planets, you could go anywhere realistically in the world. I mean, I live in the UK, and, you know, we've got greenery all around, so I thought, you know, that would be a good one that I can really recreate Endor scenes, you know, out in the countryside myself. So I thought, okay, we'll look into some of the source material. Well, some of the source material is really great. There's some actual you know, behind the scenes photos from the shooting of the films that really give you some helpful tips as to the look and things like that. There's also some other people who have built similar dioramas, or, you know, talked about similar kind of builds that I kind of used as reference to kind of help me and inspire me to kind of come to this this decision on what I was going to do. But in terms of how you want to do it, you can go about it however you like. But with the Endor bunker, you've got this kind of rectangle, you know, kind of grey concrete building, and it's got these kind of slats that come down in columns, as you can see on the sides there, and they're kind of spaced apart by the same length, you know, around equally. And then in the actual Endor bunker scene in the movie, the bunker is slanted, and you can go that route if you want to. I wanted to keep it kind of simple in that regard. Couple of reasons. One, because of space, just because I have scaled this to the 6-inch scale, so obviously it's quite big as it is, and you know, putting this away and things like that, it, you know, becomes a little bit difficult if you start making it huge. And then on top of that, also kind of just the joining of it being simple. I could have gone down the route of measuring it out and doing those slanted things, but in terms of like what the resources are you've got available, you know, try and make it simple on yourself whilst not losing any of the kind of design side. If you want to go down that route and slant it, then, you know, be my guest. I think in future builds I'm going to do more complex things as I've built up kind of a technique, and I've built up the skill now to take on such things. So basically what you've got here is just the foam board, and it's 2 side panels, a front panel, a roof that has 2 little layers here to kind of step it up a little bit, just so that there was an overhang kind of lip like there is in the reference material. And then you've got these slats are just popsicle sticks that were hot glued, just like the foam board was hot glued, and then I sprayed the whole thing grey, let it dry, sprayed it again, let it dry, and just kept spraying until I was happy with it. And then the same with the blast doors, it's just the foam board cut and glued together in this kind of slanted shape, and when you pick it up and put it up over, it fits in there nicely, and it's got that kind of slanted look that goes with the shape that I've cut out of here. That's really useful, is if you use the front board that you've cut out here to raise the doors there, so that you've got the back piece, and then you put the piece you've cut out on top of that to make the blast door. It helps because 1, you've got the symmetry of the same shape, and 2, you're not going to waste pieces, and then obviously you are going to have some 3 dimensions, you know, 3-dimensional shapes going on there, and that's much nicer. So if I just tilt that back and get this out for you. It's very light as well. It's great with the great thing about using foam board. So what I did here is I got some silver Sharpies and came in and did the detailing work around the door. You can do that with foam board and all that sort of stuff, and cut out EVA foam if you want to. This is a lot simpler, but with the detailing here, I kind of just went online and looked for kind of Star Wars-esque panels and printed out kind of just template sheets. I'll put some links down below for useful guides for that and kind of resources. But yeah, just sticking those on with just normal glue, you know, Pritt stick glue, you know, that sort of thing, it is fine. But you can use any kind of adhesive you want. It's just obviously that is cheap and easy, and most people have got something like that. You know, if you're like me and you went to university, you've got loads of random supplies just lying around not being used. So that just gives it that extra detail, and I think it does look fantastic when you kind of put those control panels on. Again, following the reference material, or just going your own way and kind of customizing as you like and as you see fit. But there's a kind of look from the front, and as you can see, it's, you know, it's movable. You can take it out and use something else. The reason I didn't want it combined is so that you could have more versatile shots and it not being the way, or you know, you could move it deeper and around if that is needed for the perspective you've got with your camera angle. But then moving on to just the top here. Now the top, as you can see, is covered in moss. Now this is live moss. I went walking in the woods in the countryside, and I picked up some bits of some moss from all over. Now there's a couple of things you need to talk about with this kind of thing. It's perfectly fine to go and do this as long as you do it in an area that isn't trusted or protected, where you shouldn't be there picking anything. And then on top of that, try not to pick from, you know, all from the same area, because moss will grow back. It's very resilient and it's found all over the forest. You know, I kind of picked this around December, kind of November time, when the cold weather has a lot of moisture around the forest floor, so there's a lot of moss all over. And this kind of stuff, this is just, you know, the moss that grows around, you know, trees and on the floor around trees and that sort of stuff, and just, you know, general woodland moss. Like I say, try and pick responsibly so that, you know, it will grow back, but don't pick, you know, don't kind of farm an entire just small area, because it will be harder for the moss to grow back in that area. So try and kind of spread it out, and like I say, be responsible, don't take too much. And, you know, we always want to leave things, you know, the way we found them when we're out and about, doing, you know, any kind of project, but especially in toy photography, if, you know, if you're picking up some pieces for a shot, or, you know, you're going to do a shot and there's going to be any sort of like, you know, small fireworks that you're using for practical effects and stuff, just, you know, be mindful of the fact that that area, there's living things there, and you want to be careful of that. In terms of attaching it to the top, again, just a little bit of hot glue. When you pick the moss in these big bunches, and, you know, they're kind of integrated, you can just put a little bit of glue underneath and just push them down, and they'll move around a little bit on the edges where you haven't glued, but they'll stay just fine. And in terms of added detail, you know, I've gone for some just kind of broken up log looking kind of twigs that were cut up, and also done the same with some sliced ones there, kind of make it look like pieces of tree have fallen, you know, and they're kind of scattered all over it. I just thought it made it a little bit more interesting and dynamic than, you know, just simply the moss. And if you've got, you know, some Ewoks in the shot, or Chewbacca or anything like that, and you're doing anything, you know, from the perspective of seeing the top or anything like that, you know, it makes it a little bit more interesting. And that's the kind of thing you want to make your, you know, your photographs more dynamic, is just that little bit of detail that maybe, you know, someone else wouldn't think of, and just throwing a little bit of that in there, you know, whether it's things like debris, or kind of, you know, building your own screen accurate kind of props or anything like that, you know, really goes a long way. In terms of the build, I mean, like I said, it's nice and cheap. You can kind of do this on a very modest budget, but again, like I said, you can go much further than me, and even take it to another level of detail, and, you know, use even more, you know, even more detail if you need.